everybody, how is it going? I'm hopping back in to the Blitz pool, slowly moving back up towards 2400, going up against KM 2200. And hopefully we can have another fun elephant gambit. After no matter what capture, I like knight to f6 and then taking back on d5 with the queen. And there are so many tricks and traps that white can fall for. So let's see if our opponent stumbles into anything today. Most common mistake, bishop to d2. Not a vampire chicken watcher, because this is in fact a losing endgame for white. I start with here and I play bishop to g4 and the game is over. But we are going to get tested. And the reason that I think people fall in for this, and we've had this now so many times, is that I think it looks like everything should be fine. And it's hard to maybe see from a distance that this is so bad for the opponent. But this is all still prep. Most people go here, but stronger is going to b5 with some pressure on my b pawn. So this is the most common move, but not the best. Because now I can take here and go here. And even if material is equal, I'm like crushing them if you ask an engine. But this is about where my knowledge is going to run out. I'm expecting takes, and then I just have a winning position. But, you know, if you've seen my end games before, this is where the game starts, okay? I get the opening trap, I get the winning position, but then somehow you got to try to win the position, okay? The game has just begun. It's move 17, and I'm out of book here, okay? Let's see what they come up with. They're going after this guy, which I don't know if I allow them to take or not. Okay, I guess the time for thinking has come. Trying to figure out where I want my queen. If I actually want her like way over here or not. Could also just attack this queen. You know, I mean, a lot of, I would say, sensible looking moves. So I'll just try to play something kind of quick here. And maybe the idea is to bring the rook over and swing a queen into c3. That would seem very logical. But it depends on where the queen goes to. Another idea would be to create some immediate pressure here. So I think the queen needs to be a little bit careful. You know, maybe staying closer to the center would be ideal. And then you can try to threaten some back rank ideas. I think I would really like to bring this queen here. The problem is the rook is in the way. But bringing a queen over here feels like a pretty amazing idea. So I'm thinking they're going to stay in the center. Where else can you go? You can come this way. You can go here. Your options are actually very limited. You also have this square. You can also come here. I mean, these are basically the only squares that I see. And none of them are very promising. So I can understand the dilemma the opponent finds themselves in. So they do stay in the middle, which I think makes the most sense. I mean, I could also just go here and bring my rooks to the center as well. Let's go with this, because I'm just going to bring my rook to the center. This is my idea. Preventing them from conquering this file. I'm going to risk making Ben Feingold mad. But I've played f6. I'm up 2 pawns and their king is exposed. But I still haven't found the knockout. But I think we're getting close. I think we're knocking on the door of being able to find a win here. But it also will be good. You know, when your knowledge runs out on move 17 of theory, you know, it's good to push yourself to the limits. We can go back, we can talk about all of this and kind of explain how people fall for this trap, because I know this is one of the most common ways that people do lose this opening. A nice 26 move win here with the Elephant Gambit. And I just kind of want to back up and talk about this because this is something that a lot of people have asked me about. This is one of the most common ways that opponents are going to be losing games. So this is the Elephant Gambit. And the good news is the system that I like to use, it doesn't really matter which way they decide to take. I meet both moves with knight to f6. And if the opponent does fully accept everything, which is most common, you take here with your queen. And the problem is after d4 supporting the knight, you're able to challenge this knight. And one of the tricks and traps, you've probably seen it on this channel before, is bishop to c4. If you haven't, just go binge every Elephant Gambit video I've ever made. This is one of the common mistakes, but the more common move is actually to take. And after takes back knight to c3, this is just following the main moves in the database. The opponent is trying to play bishop to b5 in order to win the queen. So you play bishop to b4, making a counterattack. And here is an interesting thing. 69% of the time, people will make a mistake and they will play bishop to d2. And after this, you are already better. And then most commonly, people throw the entire thing away because after you castle, it's no longer easy to play at all. Yet again, you see that bishop to e2 is the most common way for the opponent to proceed. But after queen takes g2, the main point of your queen being on this diagonal is that it's impossible for this bishop to come. You actually have a winning position. Bishop to f3, protecting the rook makes the most sense. But now you hop away, queen to e2 or here. If queen to e2, you play this anyway. It's protected by your rook, and it basically forces the same position. You get to here, and you play bishop to g4. And it maybe not obvious, like during the game. I don't know, did you think this was a -4 position? Is this the first time you've ever seen it? Maybe it doesn't look like this is so bad, but it's actually very horrible. Because in this endgame, after they castle, you're able to take this bishop, take this guy here. And again, most commonly, people go queen to c4. This is like a model. This is the most common thing that your opponents are going to play for. Queen b5 is a little bit better, but it's also quite losing for the opponents. But here, you're able to take this, you're able to take this, and this is about where my knowledge ran out. But you know what? Maybe 17 moves of theory is just not enough. I'm going to have to book up here a little bit more. Now, the most common move is actually rook to c6, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, I kind of like this idea. It's keeping the pawns protected, and now maybe this idea of bringing the queen over can actually come to fruition. But c6 it's also the top engine choice. The only move ever played is queen to e4. Rook to e3, it's, you know what? I guess we played some good moves. You know what? For the first time ever, maybe we played some good moves. Even f6 is not so bad at all. We were just simply winning, okay? During the game, you never quite know, but it's good to know that we did play yet another good game with the Elephant Gambit. So if you like it, make sure you subscribe and watch all the Elephant Gambit videos. See you later.